So that's cool. Hope everybody is well. What y'all doing? Usually I do from the desktop, but I wanted to actually see something. So we got a little desktop action and a little um actually I'm gonna do it this way because I'm just curious to see actually how this kind of comes about. Let us flip, and we're gonna do it this way. Yeah, so I'm curious to see how that works. Yes, let's do it that way. That we kind of see also what I am showing that I usually do on the desktop. So if you can hear me, let me know. You should be able to see that there. Perfect. But yeah, so we are live in a few places. Class starts here in a few. So this is the plan of action, getting our stuff together for La Clase. Let me go ahead and click live on that. And click live on that. That'll come in handy. Alrighty. But what is up, good people? We got class here in a few. Let me know if you can hear me. Make sure that that is actually working. So if you can hear me, let me know. Let me know the branch of service that you were in. Always like to ask those things. But yeah, we have our class tonight. Let me pop that up there so you can actually see that. Updated our slides. So this is the plan of action for the evening. If you are able and interested to join us, great. Thank you. What's up, Alan? How are you, brother? Appreciate you. Usually like to do stuff on the desktop specifically, but Joshua, appreciate you on both sides. Awesome. Appreciate you, my brother. Loud and clear. Navy is in the building. Sweet. So yeah, got class kicking off here in a few. So that's the plan of action for the evening. Little Your C&P will be the last class of the year. So definitely looking forward to that. Shameless plug again, making a point to hit it again, especially for the TikTok folks. Regardless of what may happen, you can find us on the tube, same username. So just kind of putting it out there to make sure that you see that. So there's that part. But this is the plan of action for the evening. We are talking acing your C&P, and we're covering these subjects. So you are aware. You are a business quiz. If a quiz is quizzical, then what's a test? Beats me. Got a C&P for sinusitis rhinitis coming up. I've had 2 TBIs, active duty, and getting med boarded. Check. Okay. Check. Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, not gonna spend too much time. I'll probably pop in afterward. Got a few different things going on. Meant to do some stuff a little earlier, but here we are nonetheless. But I wanted to at least kind of pop in and say that for a little bit. Top of the hour, we're doing ACE C&P. So if you are interested in jumping in class, the link in my bio actually will take you there. We have our last class of the year going on, and that is actually 27 for the evening. So there's a little bit of that just to kind of, give y'all some perspective as to what we're doing. Rating is 0 for OSA because my CPAP hadn't came in the mail yet. That's not how it should go, actually. Whether or not it came in the mail, it's more so if it's medically required that they're supposed to look at that. So that's something to potentially push back on. The rating criteria doesn't look at that per se. Actually, I'll pull it up right here. So specifically for sleep apnea, to your question, right? They're basically saying at 0 that you're asymptomatic, with documented sleep disorder breathing, right? So you have no symptoms. The fact is you have symptoms because you did pop on your, stuff there for that sleep apnea piece. So if it's you have required use of a CPAP, then that's the argument. That's the point. So I get it. I understand why, that may have gone that way, but that was off. I shouldn't have not gone that way. So I'd push back on that. Yes, I am. Um, I'm actually gonna do all this stuff actually in class. So I'm actually just popping in here for a little bit. So I'm actually gonna cover CMPs and all that. So when it comes to the mental health, it's so there is no depression and anxiety per se rating criteria. It's a mental health criteria, and they all fall in there. So that's what this all entails on the mental health side of the house. So whether it's depression, anxiety, what have you, all the same rating criteria that you see here behind me. That's what that entails. So there's that part. But I'll be covering that and some. So for tonight, plan of action at the top of the hour specifically, we are talking ACE Your C&P, and we're touching on what is a CMP, why you should attend your CMPs, how you'll be evaluated, what to expect, what not to expect, type of CMP exams. Then we'll also be talking about red flags for bad CMP exams, how to report a bad CMP exam, and then from there we are looking at preparation tips for the exam with a Q&A. So that's the plan of action for the evening. Uh, if I would say communicate it. So just not making an appointment does not equal an automatic denial, but it definitely doesn't bode well to just not show up, right? So you should be communicating with them as to what's going on, why potentially you're not able to make it, et cetera, et cetera. Possible mental claim showing that I use a CPAP. Again, medically required is a language. Back to the rating criteria, but check. Um, okay. Let's see. Order X-rays for everything I complained about. Is that a bad sign? Not a good sign or bad sign. You've asked for a thing. They're going to examine a thing, so that kind of happens that way. Zay, hopefully that answers your question as far as the not showing up piece. Check Joshua on the exams that you have coming up. Plan of action again for the evening is what you see behind me. So that's what we're covering at the top of the hour. So if you're interested, that's it's the last class of the year that I'm doing. So that's taking place here in about 20-25 minutes in Zoom. So it won't be here on social media. So as far as that's concerned, I don't do these classes on social media because it's a thing. I have to actually go through a process. So we're going to cover this material and we're going to work through it together. And then we'll have a Q&A. And obviously there are things I can't talk about on social media because especially for mental health and more deeper things. So a little bit of a heads up on that. But this is the plan of action for us. So I wanted to at least kind of pop in, share that. Those on TikTok as well. I'll probably be popping in on the mobile on the phone. So I'm gonna probably be live on both TikTok and YouTube. Shameless plug. If you're not following on YouTube, TikTok folks, same username. So just a little bit of a heads up there. Just to make sure that regardless of what changes may come, you are aware of how to follow, right? Because what stays, what goes, who knows? I can't speak to that, right? But the link in my bio has all that stuff. So, check that out. Make sure you're checking out the stuff we have. Jump on our newsletter. That's the biggest thing. Last class of the year. And then we're rock and rolling next year with a whole bunch of cool things. So we just updated our slide decks for this class. So I'm running this slide deck. Appreciate you, Bucky. Man, look, you motivate me, brother. Um, but yeah, gonna roll out this new slide. So we update them every quarter. So this will be the new class for next year. So I'm gonna do like a trial. I'm gonna run it, yeah, trial run it tonight. So looking forward to that. So we have a little bit of a remix when it comes to that. So that's gonna be pretty cool. I've heard claims take 185 days to process, 160. They say 159 and change, but I've seen less and more. So I got a guy who went in 7 days. I got someone waiting 7 months. It's kind of the VA. My claim was submitted August 12th. Haven't had any updates since November. Step 5 rating. That's just, again, the VA for you. It's the holidays. People are people. Queue, backlog, all different things. I wouldn't get too crazy or bent around the bush with it. Sadly, it's just the government doing the business of the government, sadly, and very inefficiently at that. What's up, everybody else? Let me see. Um, okay, yeah. So let me put it actually behind me so it makes sense as you're tuning on in. Make sure I get caught up. X-rays, not a bad thing. Just part of the examination process. I'm going to cover different types of exams as well. We'll send to 2 ACE exams instead of C&P. Should I be concerned? No, I'll cover that as well. That's just another type of exam, so they may not need you to be there physically. It happens. I want to say thank you for what you do. Appreciate looking out for us. You're welcome, Jakes. Appreciate you. Submitted claim for an increased PTSD alcohol use currently at 90. It depends where you. And again, shameless plug. You have to HCMP. Going for an increase, you have to go to speak to symptoms, arguing how things have got worse. That's going to be one of the biggest things there for sure, that have to be looked at. So, yeah, it really depends. Again, where's your mental health currently? If you're looking for an increase, and focusing on that. So, it's very common. I see it, Ricky. Hospitalized after a month, filing for increase. Yeah. So and that's going to give you proof too as well, brother, as far as that's concerned. So, um, yeah, I would say for sure. You have obviously reasons now as to why that was. You're arguing to the symptoms, where you're at currently. The hospitalization adds proof to that, and then obviously speaking to the symptoms at the higher level from where you were. Thank you for your information. I got my ratings on my claims. Thank you. You're welcome, Crystal. Appreciate you. Hope you're well. 20 years, never visited VA. Feel like I don't rate working. Uh, so going to the VA doesn't necessarily mean anything. Just because you don't want to go there for care doesn't mean that you can't get your benefits. You know what I'm saying? It's like you paid your insurance bill and you never filed a claim for an accident because you never had an accident because you never had a need to, right? So the fact is you paid that bill with your body, mind, soul, and service time. So you can file, when you feel that you have to. But it's very common. So I understand. I'm on YouTube, Veteran DP. How to join a class? Link in my bio will have the HCMP class. So we had a discount for the entire year, going for the rest of the year. So it's only 27 for that. So link in my bio will literally have that. Just click that. You'll sign up, and it'll take you to the class for this evening. So when you click on Your C&P, that little grab my spot thing, it'll take you to Calendly, and you'll be able to select today's date. Oops, right there, and then you're good to go. So that's how you should go about that. And for YouTube, yep, same username, Veteran DP. So you'll be able to kind of follow along there and see all the stuff that we are doing. And I'll be doing a whole lot more stuff there as well too. So make sure you're there just in case things change with this social media thing. They denied most of my claims and said they're not service connected without even doing an exam. Again, Zay, now we have to look at how did you file the claim? What was included in there, right? Was there enough for them to justify an exam, etc.? A few things have to be in place, so that can happen. Brian, appreciate you, brother. Ricky. Yeah, pain. Chronic pain is for sure a thing, but now is how are we linking that back? You have sciatica. Sciatica is coming from where? Is there a back condition, etc.? So different ways to do that for sure. Range of motion obviously is going to be one of the bigger pieces when it comes to range of motion and ratings, but yeah. Some of the claims in the RO research coordinator. It means that they're in the process for the regional office, so they're just doing their thing. Herniated disc. Again, how you tie it back to service, what happened for you to claim that too, right? You're welcome, Jada. Yeah, let me know if you have any issues. Brian, who just commented, he's here on the chat because eventually I'm going to start switching off here to start getting things ready for class. So shoot him a message just in case, because I may not be able to get it. If you have any issues signing up for class tonight. Because sometimes I'll get messages and I'm literally, opening up Zoom and I'm doing stuff. So I won't see messages coming in. but Brian's on my crew as well. A C&P exam is when you're filing a claim specifically, and the VA calls you and says, "Hey, it's a compensation and pension exam." So it's how they're going to determine what is the impairment level of your condition and if it's service connected or not. So tonight specifically, these are the things that we're going to be hitting on, right? Um, Touching on obviously, welcome intro, things like that. And then we're going to be walking through what is a C&P exam, should you attend them, how you're going to be evaluated, things to expect, not to expect, bad C&P exams, red flags, what to do. We have a bad one, reporting set bad exams, and then from there, looking at preparation tips and a Q&A. So I always have all my classes with Q&A. So, the goal is to hit the top of the hour from 8 p.m. Eastern Standard to 9, and then we'll have a Q&A for a period of time. Anything can be a secondary. It's just how are you arguing it realistically? All right, so how are you arguing that your primary cause, in your case, diabetes? Combat examiner, how to, yeah, I'm literally going to cover all that. So again, I'm literally just popping in because I've been making a point to because I got a denial. So I have to do the denial barbecue to see kind of how why did they say that, how to push back, etc., etc. So there's that. But as far as how to push back and all that stuff, I cover that in many of my videos. I'm literally gonna pop off here about 5 minutes or so and get ready to go teach this class. So I'm just popping in to kind of just say, like I've been saying, hey, make sure that you are following across the board on all social media. So we're everywhere right now. So shout out to the YouTube folks, to the TikTok folks, to the Instagram folks, and to the X folks. People on TikTok, make sure you're following on YouTube. Same username, Veteran DP, just because I don't know what may happen. So making a point to kind of do that and just say that. But tonight, this is the plan of action specifically of what I'll be doing. So we got folks getting ready to jump into class here shortly. But this will be the last class of the year. We ran a sale for the entirety of the year, so that's 27. So you can lock that in, and then we'll start back up next year. So this will be the last class of the year, and that'll be that. I'm doing a C&P for lower back pain. How is it? Range of motion, really, when it comes to musculoskeletal, right? So those are things to consider and look at when we're looking at musculoskeletal conditions. What exactly, how are you arguing those things? So even like in a CFR, you can kind of see specifically, scrolling down to the musculoskeletal side of the house. Where are we? Oh, I went to the wrong one. I thought I went to musculoskeletal. Let's go to musculoskeletal. And you'll see. So it really kind of it varies on the conditions, rating, your ability, your range of motion, how you can move, etc. So a lot of these things kind of factor into that. Let me see. Dun 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 dun. Okay, musculoskeletal. So hand, for example, range of motion, neck, back, knees, all different things. I'm just kind of scrolling real quickly just to kind of show, but really that's my whole point I was trying to get to. More as far as specifically like your range of motion, kind of where you're at. So all that factors in as to, how they're going to rate you when it comes to that. What is the issue you have for the spine specifically, yada, yada, yada. So it really varies and depends. Okay. Yeah. So, but yeah, good people, that is the plan of action for the evening. Higher level review and got a duty to assist. Now they're starting it again. Is it normally fast? Not necessarily, right? Because they're just saying, hey, we had a duty to assist. We didn't do a thing. We didn't help you, whatever case may be. So, now they will do the things that they failed to do, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it'll be faster or slower. It's still the same process, right? But yeah, so that is the plan. Again, tonight we're doing HCMP, so there's that. So if you're able to come on down, I'd look forward to seeing you there in about a good 10 minutes. Links to all that stuff is in the link in my bio. No, it does not. So I'm gonna say there is no real no left or right. It's just more, hey, we forgot to help you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna approve it or deny it. It's the same exact probability across the board, honestly. So they had a duty to assist. They didn't do that thing. They could equally deny you with the duty to assist because we assist you to get some records or doing some things, and we still denied you, right? So the requirement for service connections still remain. The fact of a duty to assist error doesn't necessarily mean that because now they found they had one, they're going to expedite to get you that thing, right? So not necessarily. I don't want to promise you something incorrect there, Shannon. Right? It's just to be kind of pretty straightforward with you when it comes to that. Um, but that's what I got. So open up Zoom, do that thing that we do, and we're going to get on to HNR C&P exams here in a little bit. So for those that are able to jump on in, do that thing. Let me go ahead and make sure I get that stuff underway and we get ready to roll and do what we do. Bum, 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 bum. But I hope y'all are well, though. I don't see y'all for sure. Want to at least wish you a happy holidays and happy new year for those out there who we may not be able to talk to as the year comes to a close. Let me open that. Let's move this out of screen. All right, we got some people in the waiting room, so let's let them in. We'll open up our poll, a C&P poll. Okay, Brian's here, so let's make him a co-host. Start letting people in. So yeah, that's the scuttlebutt. All right, I think we got most of the stuff that I wanted to do. So we got our Zoom open, more veterans and claims and work as a process, claim patients, and very necessary here for sure. Very necessary. Agreed, Mrs. Mike MCG. Very much so. But I appreciate y'all hanging out for a little bit here. I'll probably pop in afterwards. Not really. I gotta actually head out of town. So, but in the next few days, I'll be popping in. The remainder of the year alone. So, where can we see the BDD list? The link in my bio has the checklist. If you're asking for that, and the course there as well. Um, but let's see. What was the question? Folks, CSP struggle getting exams done prior to getting. No, not so much, Josh. If they're able to get in during the BDD window, they usually are pretty good with that. So that's okay. Um, let me see. Okay. So, but yeah, no, I was not say. I would say no, Josh, for that. Since you're PNT, can you work? Yeah, you're not precluded, right? It says your ratings are permanent total. If you're TDIU, there's an income cap, so there's nothing that says you cannot work. That's not a thing. It's more so if you're saying, hey, you're applying for TDIU, total disability, total individual employability, there's an income cap you can't go over. But just because you're PNT, it's like, oh, okay, I can't go to work. That's not a thing. It's more so obviously staying open the limitations of what you can and cannot do, right? So, you might be able to do a little side thing here, you might do something to do over there, but not a thing there, right? The poverty level. So just Google, what is the poverty level, the U.S. poverty level for your demographic for your situation, as far as like it goes off like if you're single or your family size, things like that. So you can look that up, and that will give you like a number of what that is. So there's that. But awesome. So I'm gonna hop off and get over to the business of acing RCMP. For those that are able to come on in, I look forward to seeing you and hanging out for a little bit. We're going to do some CMP action. And then, like I said, that's the agenda for the evening. So we're going to cover a little bit of basics, a little bit of all that stuff you see behind me, roll out the new slide deck that we have. So that'll be for the new class next year that we'll be doing. And I'm going to actually record an on demand of this version. So there's that. But I appreciate y'all. And if anything, feel free to reach out. But if I don't see you for whatever reason, go to YouTube. It is same username, Veteran DP. So make sure you tell a friend. Don't be stingy as far as that's concerned. And oops, there it is. And then we will kind of continue from there. So have a great evening as we get rolling.